Are we live? Are we live? I believe we are. I believe we are. Did you guys think I wasn't gonna drop a video tonight? I wasn't gonna do that to you guys. Um, Man, it's been a long week, and it's to be expected. When you guys come in, let me know if you can hear me. Um, but yeah, that's the whole point of the moon, right? Once it's a new moon, energy starts to rise. And then when the full moon comes, there's a climax, and then there's usually a drop of energy, right? Which is how we can kind of like say, hey, if you don't get a full moon pop, there's a good chance that the market's going to go down because, you know, the energy that was building, the hopium, the moon rules the emotions. Wow, these girls are going at it. Jeez. They okay? Wow. That was a little brutal. Um, can you, can you guys hear the fight? All right. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay and all that good stuff. I'm gonna drop an AMC video this weekend. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think that the last video that we spoke about on AMC kind of covered what we're thinking would happen today. And I haven't even looked at the chart since it closed, um, but yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about this full moon. This full moon in Taurus. Okay. Taurus is about building. It's the earth energy. It's about building. It's about manifesting. Taurus also has a lot to do with money because it's Venus and the finer things of life. So you can see people having a full moon in Taurus would be a time where whatever you've been trying to build, you can kind of see kind of take place, or anything you do want to build. It's a great time to kind of plant those seeds and or really solidify those seeds you've been planting to manifest something. Now is the time to really go for that, right? You also want to look at how the full moon hits in your chart, right? It's going to hit certain positions, whether it's your different planets, whether it's a house, and it's going to interact with everyone specifically in a different way. Okay, so I'm just going to run down really quickly. Kind of how the full moon will affect each sign. Now, I'm a very detailed type of guy, right? So I don't like the idea of only giving someone like when I'm giving you a full moon reading, but obviously I couldn't give you a really good one unless I could actually see your chart. But we can do things just based off your sun sign. But that is just that's a big part of your chart, but it's just one part of your chart. You have to look at the whole picture, right? Um, so, Aries is the first one. Aries is a fire sign. This is happening in an earth sign. So all the fire signs could be kind of, going against the wave of the current energy. So if you're being like super fiery, like in a sense of aggressive, um, this full moon isn't really a good time for that because Taurus is a very solid energy. And we're going to be dealing with a square. No, that's not a square. One second. Lights turned off on me. There we go. So yeah, it's a hard angle because it's right next to each other. Taurus and Aries. So Aries need to be patient during this time. They need to be more stable during this time. If you haven't been that way, I would probably say this full moon kind of gave you like a little bit of a problem. Okay, if you have been stable, if you have been consistent, if you have been kind of just being patient and not as fiery, then the full moon would probably be not bad for you at all. In fact, the ways you have been consistent, um, those lessons you have been learning about your discipline, this full moon could potentially show that. Okay, now the next sign is a Taurus. So a Taurus full moon is in your sign. This is a very, very significant full moon for you, especially since it was a super Taurus full moon. So basically, for Taurus, this is a really good time for you guys to kind of just um, put a stamp on how you identify yourself and how you want to identify with the world. Okay. So this is today. You should know exactly who you are. You should know exactly how you feel. And if you feel like, if you kind of feel like you are not being the person you want to be, not living the way you want to be, well, this full moon is trying to tell you it's time to change. And in fact, it could have made like forced a change on you, right? So yeah, keep that in mind. It's a very good full moon for Tauruses. Obviously, it's for you guys. Make a wish. Everyone should be making a wish, especially on a Taurus full moon. People don't realize, but the moon is exalted in Taurus. It does best in Taurus. It's very strong in Taurus. So it's Taurus people. If you're a Taurus moon sign, if you're a Taurus sun sign, or if you're a Taurus rising, this was a major full moon for you, especially for all of them. Okay, if it happened in your rising sign, I would definitely say there's a big shift happening in your life as well. If it's from the sun, it's more from a identity standpoint, right? Ego standpoint. Okay, so let's go to the next sign, which would be Gemini. Okay, my sun is a Gemini. So this right here would, Tauruses are, they're strong, they're stable, they're consistent. They like to make progress. They like to, um, you know, hold the line, you could say, where air signs are more like they're hard to kind of grab onto. They're not as solid. It's air, right? They're not solid, right? And so I would imagine a Gemini on this full moon, they might be looking at their lives and they might be just trying to understand like what makes sense on more of a like a, I'm gonna say physical, but like when I say that I mean in a like what can I see that I accomplish? What can I see that I want out of life? What can I see that I've been working towards, and how have I got there? Have I not got there? Like that full moon is gonna give that check with the Gemini, because they're always like thinking, but now they're gonna be more um thinking about their lives in a more rational way, in a more logical way, and they're kind of logical people anyway, but they're gonna like fine tune and kind of be more decisive on their thoughts, because typically a Gemini can be very indecisive. You see what I mean? Again, it all depends on how it falls in your chart, and if I saw your actual chart, I could give you more information there. But that's a general idea for, I would say, a Gemini. Okay, next sign over would be the Cancer. Now this is a very harmonious full moon for a Cancer sign, because Earth and water go together, right? And so Earth wants to show the water signs that being consistent can help the water signs reach your goals, right? Because the water sign can be very imaginative. They can be very like lackadaisical, not action oriented as the other signs, because they're more in their emotions, they're more in their head, they're more in their internal space. And earth energy, especially water energy, especially the Cancer, they tend to be a little timid with things, right? So this full moon for the Cancer is a time where you all can kind of be out in front of in the front line, and kind of like push yourselves to manifest things that you kind of aren't comfortable with all the time. Like this Taurus full moon is like, here, you can do this. Let's make these goals. Let's dream big and then make these goals happen. That's what it's doing to like the water signs, right? And I kind of feel that, because I'm a water sign. I'm a Pisces, and so it's in a good angle to me. And I'm thinking to myself, like 2025, like this is the year I'm gonna retire myself. Like I'm dreaming big. That's the water sign. I dream big, and this year, 2025, I'm gonna become a millionaire. Period. There it is. I said it live. All right. So if I'm not a millionaire by 2025, astrology does not work. Okay. Now, now this is perfect. Um, the Taurus full moon. See, the water sign says I'm gonna be a millionaire, and they just feel it, and then sometimes it happens. You never know, right? But the the Taurus is making me say, okay, so how are you gonna get there? Like, what is the game plan? What are the step by step actions that you're gonna take to get there? That's what the full moon is gonna do to the water signs, right? And I would say the Pisces struggles with consistency more than the Cancer, but the Cancer kind of struggles more with being timid than the Pisces. So I would imagine this like Taurus full moon is kind of strengthening the Cancer. You see what I mean? Um, okay, so the next sign, Leo. That's an interesting one. Okay, so this is a square. This is a hard angle to the Leo. Okay, so this is not a good. I wouldn't say that. Excuse me. A square are hard angles, so they're uncomfortable, but it's not doesn't necessarily mean that it's hard. But I would say that there could be a lot of things that may feel a little bit uncomfortable for the Leo, right? Because we're dealing with earth and fire, but we're dealing with both of them from what's called the fixed position. So they're hitting each other from hard angles. Don't worry about that. But what the square does is it makes the Leo have to confront something, or something is confronting the Leo. And it doesn't have to be a person. It has to be a thing. It can be like psychological, emotionally. Um, and this time the Leo is the square, it's the hard angle, so you can't avoid it, right? There's something that the Leo on this full moon will have to deal with, and it could have to do with like the Taurus stuff, right? Like where in your life are you not being consistent or not being logical, um, not being more stable in a sense of calm and collected. All right, because Leos are very like opposite of that most of the time, and Tauruses are calm and collected. So that's where the Leo will get in trouble this full moon, when you guys start turning up, acting like the fire signs. And then the Taurus full moon, the Taurus is like, hey man, we're not doing that today, right? And then you meet the bull Taurus, all right? Because Taurus is Venus. It is a feminine sign, but don't get that twisted. Like if the Taurus has to turn up, it will. You see what I'm saying? In fact, I think Mike Tyson's a Cancer. There's a few famous Taurus fighters. We looked at Mike Tyson's chart the other day, but I was just looking at the his stars. I wasn't really like paying attention to his actual like the transits, but let's see. No, he's not Taurus. Oh, he has North Node. Oh, okay. He has North Node Taurus. In fact, that North Node. Look at this, guys. The his North Node is in the 24th degree Taurus, and this moon is in the 27th degrees Taurus. So that the moon is really right on top of his North Node right now, which basically means that it's on a full moon, right? That is the North Node is your destiny position, where you're meant to be. Okay, it represents goals that must be achieved during this lifetime. Like, what the heck? Do you guys see that? Like, Mike Tyson has his has the full moon right on top of this guy, which is called the North Node, which is known as the Destiny Point, which is also known as Rahu. Don't get me started. But represents the goals that must be achieved in this lifetime. A karmic sense according to traditions. Yeah, it's very karmic energy. So man, this is going to be quite. That's why I don't think this fight is going to be fake. This is going to be quite a night. Even if it is fake, though, it's still going to be something. It's very special to Mike Tyson. I think it's his last hurrah. I know if my dad had a chance to like, have the spotlight and like, show off his strength as an old man, even though he may not have as much strength as he used to, or whatever. But you know how old people can be. And I like that energy. I want to be like Mike Tyson. I want to be like my father when I'm their ages, where I still feel young. I still want to be young. I still want to, do my thing out there. So good for Mike Tyson. I'm happy for him, straight up. Um, you guys already saw the fight predictions, so I won't even get into that. But okay, what sign were we on? And guys, what's up? I see we have 5 people in here. What's up, guys? Hit that like button. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if anyone knows their rising sign. I will help them. With their I will give them a reading. Like if you guys know like more of your stars, but you guys just listen to each sun sign. Anyway, where are we at? Leo. What's next? Virgo. Okay, so for the Virgos, this is really good. This is really good for the Virgo because it's Earth energy. It's Taurus is an Earth sign, so the Virgo is gonna feel all the Virgo stuff today. And so, if the Virgo's been living life accordingly, today's gonna feel good to them because it's in harmony with their natural energy. If the Virgo has not been living life in harmony, then they're going to have a problem that's going to show them um, where they need to focus, right? Because the Virgo is all the Taurus stuff in a sense of consistency, consistent, stable, logical. And so, where the, I would say, where Virgos have a problem, I wouldn't say a problem, but a lot of times a Virgo, they tend to get off base when they become emotional. Okay. And you would think because they're earth sign, they're not emotional, but out of all the earth signs, I would definitely say the Virgo's the most emotional. We have Virgo, we have Taurus, and we have sorry guys, I'm tired. I'm really tired. I really can't even think of the other earth sign is crazy. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Whoa, that's crazy. All right, I have 4 planets in Capricorn too. That's how tired I am. Okay, so yeah, the Virgo is definitely the most emotional of all the earth signs, right? And if you think about it, if you want to understand a sign, you can kind of understand a sign by understanding the opposite sign. The Virgo, opposite of Virgo is Pisces. Pisces is a water sign and is extremely emotional. It's probably the most emotional of all the water signs. You see what I'm saying? Um, so sensitive is a better word. I wouldn't necessarily call it emotional. What's up? What's up, Tran? What's up, J? I don't want to mess up your name. Scorpio. Okay, okay, okay. Javer? Is that how I say it, or is it silent J? Um, oh yeah. So Scorpio is one of my favorite signs. So I will definitely give. And the Scorpio is opposite of Taurus. We were just talking about opposite signs. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? So yeah, that's this full moon is for you too. Um, okay, it's for the Scorpio as well. It's looking directly at your sun. I wouldn't say directly. It depends on what degree your sun is. What's your birthday? Um, I would say if you are a late degree, yeah, you'll have to be a late degree. You'll have to be a late degree Scorpio, right? So Scorpio later in the months to for it to be close to your sign, no matter what, or close to your actual sun. No matter what, it's still in the opposite sign. It's still gonna affect you heavy, and it's still a big deal for you, especially. So we'll get that. We'll get to Scorpio in a second. So next sign over is Libra. Libra and a Taurus is a very interesting combination because Taurus and Libra are both Venus. So when you think about each sign, you have to think about the planet that rules that sign. Each planet rules both signs or 2 signs other than the sun and the moon because they're not really planets, you know. So when we talk about Taurus or when we talk about Libra, we're talking about air energy. And remember, we talked about how Taurus is and air don't really mix, right? Or earth and air don't really mix. So the Libra could have a problem again where they're not being consistent, where they're not showing up properly. Libras can be very flaky. Taurus is hate that. That's a bad energy for Taurus energy, right? So because everyone wants everything to make sense, and Libras can be the type of planet, the type of sign that doesn't always make sense. You see what I'm saying? Because they could be, you know, wishy washy. They're known to be wishy washy, right? But on the other sense, since it's a Taurus Venus full moon, is really good for the Libra because they're gonna feel extra beautiful. People are gonna think they're extra beautiful than they already are. It's Venus energy, right? If you guys have been trying to manifest something and you've been working really hard towards that, I would say the Libra could probably Even though it's not in perfect harmony, the Libra can handle this full moon very nicely, and work with it very nicely. Libra might slow things down at this time and kind of think a little bit more about how they want to make that beautiful life and create those steps to get there. Things that are stopping them from being there, the Libras are going to do the balancing and weighing out the scales and kind of getting rid of the things that aren't going to help them manifest what they want to manifest. We use the word manifest because um, Taurus loves to manifest this physical, something beautiful and physical. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Um, Next sign, Scorpio. The Scorpio is water, and we talked a little bit about the water energy, right? But basically, since it's opposite of your sign, right, it's going to be almost showing you everything that isn't lining up the way it should be. Okay. So it's going to be a time where that Scorpio intuition is going to be on overdrive because everything that isn't lining up is going to, you're going to really like, what's the word? Feel it in a way that makes you like motivated to transform it, right? Because that's what Scorpios want to do. They want to transform something. So this is a very transformative full moon for the Scorpio, especially with things in their life that they don't want there anymore, or things in their life that they do want. This is a thing. This is where you're physically trying to manifest, or thinking about the things you have been manifesting or haven't been manifesting, and then allowing that to be the compass to move forward. A great time for a change of identity. In fact, there could be a ego shift or ego um, death, you could say, because full moon is a climax. Scorpio rules life and death, right? And since the sun is the ego, there could be a total shift of mindset with this Taurus full moon banger for you. I also want to say, remember, Taurus is the moon is exalted in Taurus. Um, Therefore, it's debilitated in Scorpio, meaning it doesn't want to be in Scorpio. Why doesn't it want to be in Scorpio? Because Scorpio is fixed water, it can't move the way it wants to. And what do I mean by that? We know the Earth deals with my live, because I think my VPN just messed things up. Am I still live? We know the Earth VPN, or where is that? What the hell? I have no idea what I was saying. Can you help me out? Can you help me out? What was the last thing I was talking about? I know I was talking about Scorpio, but I forget where I was on Scorpio. Um, I can get lost in Scorpio so easily. Like, that's the thing about Scorpio. They're such a deep sign that they get, and that's the thing about this full moon. It being such a strong full moon, a Scorpio, and a Scorpio season anyway, it's very important not to get taken over by it on an emotional standpoint, because this can make you extremely sensitive because you're seeing everything that you don't like or seeing everything that you do like, right? So you could feel overly joy or you could feel the opposite, but no matter what, things are going to be shown to you in a more clear sense. And if you were riding the wave in a way where you're fighting the energy, fighting the what makes sense, fighting the consistency, fighting what's logical, then this full moon may have potentially hit you kind of heavy. Um, if you're dealing with any like people that are asking you to be more consistent and that sort of thing, more or want like more solid answers, because Scorpios can be very unrevealing, and Tauruses need to see, right? So this could have been a very exposing full moon as well. But this could also be a full moon where you want to expose yourself, where you're ready to kind of get out of that Scorpio shadow and kind of like show yourself more to the world, it being opposite of your sun. You see what I mean? As far as manifesting, this is an awesome full moon for manifestation, and for potentially things you have been already working on. And remember, full moon energy, from a more of an astrological standpoint, can be looked at for it as a 6 month transit, not just like a 3 day, 2 day thing. That's just like for astrology, which does make sense, but don't worry about that. So when you look at this full moon, you can look at it as a 2 week cycle and also a 6 month type cycle. A 2 week cycle because the full moon to a new moon, and then a 6 week cycle or 6 month cycle from a Taurus full moon to a Taurus new moon. All right. So make some 6 months goals. That goes for everyone as far as what you're trying to manifest on a physical level. Okay. All right. Moving on. What's next? We have Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius and Taurus is fire and earth. Okay. So we have the energy of passion, motivation, and hypeness and fire and all that, like life and aggression, right? And Sagittarius aren't necessarily aggressive. I'm just saying, like, they're very like fast, right? They like to move fast, and this Taurus like to move slow. You see what I mean? And this full moon is not in harmony with that, right? So I could imagine the Sagittarius may have to almost like slow things down a little bit, and reflect more, and then make more the strategic decisions moving forward. So it could be a full moon where it's just kind of helping you kind of like get back into. Oh, I'm blurry. Why am I blurry? Sorry about that. A full moon kind of help you get back into rhythm the right way. I had the fight on. Where is the fight go? Where does the fight go? There it is. Oops. Okay, so what's the next sign? What's the next sign? What's the next sign? Sagittarius. Capricorn. Okay, so this is in harmony with Capricorn. And I really like this full moon for Capricorn because Capricorn is a very big on manifestation, and this Taurus full moon is very big on manifesting something, right? So I could imagine the Capricorns out there that have been working hard towards things. You're gonna see a some sort of like milestone potentially. Um, Capricorns love to like reach statuses. You can see like a new status with Capricorn energy. This deals with physical things, so I can see like big purchases and stuff like that. Because Taurus love to have things physically, manifest things physically. So dang, this video was doing this earlier today. I'm not really sure why. Okay, so yeah, I would say this is pretty good energy for Capricorn. And guess who's a Capricorn? Jake Paul. And guess who's opposite of Capricorn? Mike Tyson, right? So it's a very interesting scenario with that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just get a readings for Capricorn, and I said that they might get something good today. So there you go. Okay, so we have Aquarius, and this is squaring Aquarius. So this is a hard angle to Aquarius, okay? Because they're both fixed signs, they're both meeting each other, and Aquarius is kind of forced to kind of slow down and listen, where Aquarius doesn't really always want to do that, right? So I could imagine this full moon, if you have been kind of more focused on what projects you've been dealing with on a logical way and consistent way, then this full moon didn't really bother you, right? But if you haven't been, showing up the way you should be anywhere in certain areas of your life, then this would show. This will definitely show on this full moon. And use the full moon as a compass to get back on track. Always think of a full moons as a compass, an energetic compass that's kind of pointing out where you should go, right? Like for example, like this full moon has been telling me that I need to like be back in doing my market moonlord stuff, right? And look, like I've been doing it like by myself, right? But now I'm doing it again on a physical level, right? Taurus level. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. And if you think about it, we're in Scorpio season where things are hidden, and then I came back, right? So and then now I'm showing my face live, right? This is like literally the what I'm talking about, right? Like it's a Taurus opposite of Scorpio full moon, and we all been in scorpionic energy getting exposed. So what do you think I think is going to happen next week, right? I think there's going to be some type of, I know there's going to be a lot of news worthy information coming towards the end of Scorpio season. You see what I'm saying? Things getting revealed to us out of nowhere. But anyway, that's a different story. All right, last sign, the Pisces. Um, so this is in harmony with the Pisces, and I would say, since the Pisces tend to be indecisive, the Taurus full moon is going to make them decisive. I rest my case. If you heard me talk about the Cancer Taurus combination, then you're going to understand why I rest my case now. Okay. So just go back and listen to the Cancer one. I'm a Pisces. Okay. But this was a good full moon for Pisces, potentially just in the idea of getting things more clear. Okay. So yeah, guys, that's my full moon quick little rundown. I'm a little rusty. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I'm a little rusty. Um, I'm better when I can actually see someone's chart. I don't really do, because I kind of think what I just did, I'm not gonna lie to you, is not. People need to understand that that's just like a little picture of your chart. You see what I mean? So it's not gonna really give you a lot of information at the end of the day when you really look at the big, Oh, I know why it's not working. My VPN turned on. Hold on, guys. All right. So if anyone has any questions for me, I am super tired, so I'm not gonna really keep talking. I'm just gonna kind of see if anyone has any questions for me, and if not, I'm gonna just turn on this fight a little bit. I might, end up saying things anyway because I talk a lot. Um, but yeah, let's see. I'm gonna look at the charts real quick. I'm not gonna look at ANC right now. I just want to look at what's going on over here with crypto. I don't like what's happening. Give it a second. It was doing this earlier, taking a long time to load. I'm not sure why. I'm sorry about that. Come on. Come on. But yeah, it looks like Bitcoin is trying to do something on this full moon, which is interesting. I don't know who caught my video yesterday when I was talking about Bitcoin, but I was talking about this little circle and what I was looking for, and it's like doing it almost like perfectly. Found that super interesting. Um, let me see if I can figure out which ones these are here. I want to show you this for the if you guys didn't see it. I'll turn the volume up here while we.
We're back. We are back in action. So check this out. Okay, you know that I love our life. What?
So are they gonna I feel like for commercials I shouldn't play that because they might copyright me or whatever. Um okay, I'll just show you what I did real quick. It's pretty simple. And you can look at my video too. If anyone has any questions, let me know. All right, so I'm not a fractal guy at all. I actually get annoyed when people do it sometimes, but I kind of understand why they do it. So, and now I'm doing it. So there you go. So bars pattern, and so what I did here, this was my launch pad that I've been looking at, and then I noticed that it was making this. I've been seeing like these weird like little circle things. But what I did right here is I took this little guy and I put it like so, and then I also I'm gonna turn the fight on a little bit in the background. Oh, it's in Spanish. Hold on. Okay. Appreciate you guys coming in. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let me know if you guys want a reading of any sort. So let me give you. All right. So Sagittarius rising is happening in your sixth house. So this sixth house deals with a lot of the Taurus stuff actually, because there's an Earth sign house. Okay. So I would say for you, the sixth house is the Virgo house. It's the house of healing, more so on the physical side. But I still will consider a house of healing. Basically, the 12th and the 6th, the Virgo and the Pisces axis, or the healers. So anything that may need healing is a great time for that. Anything that may need some physical healing or health, there's a good time to address that. If you've been working towards anything to deal with fitness and stuff like that, we can see some milestones reach with something like this. If you are in any type of health sector field, we can see some type of climax energy coming out of that, coming out of energy from this as well. Now, I would say a big focus on this though is more about like your good habits, bad habits, everyday routines, because that's really what the sixth house is about. It's about your overall habits. So this can deal with healthy habits or bad habits like addictions and stuff like that. So any type of things that need to be addressed that are hurting you could be shown at this time. More on the positive side, this is just a great time to have the energy to work towards your fitness, have the energy to make the routines that you need to make to kind of manifest what needs to be manifest. Um, and the sixth house is low key known as the house of taxes, low key known as the house of enemies. It's basically the house of overall well being. The sixth house is the house of overall well being, right? So basically, wherever you're not taking care of yourself is going to be shown. But on the positive side, there could be like things coming in to help you and increase your overall well being, you could say, right? So yeah, we can leave it there. How do we make the who do you guys think is going to win the fight actually? Do we have any predictions? Do we have any predictions? Do you guys have any video ideas you want me to do? Any idea? I want to do something super unique, like that hasn't been done before. And I know that sounds kind of silly because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one doing like financial astrology, but I'm trying to like do something different, like even more, right? Um, I also want to 2025 is going to be a banger year. I want to really go in on the production. One of the biggest reasons why I kind of stopped doing the whole YouTube thing is because it's super time consuming when you want to do it in a very nice way. Um, but I have a new idea, a new strategy coming up for to take care of that situation. Not to mention I'm going to be retired next year. I mean, I'm gonna have my first million by next year, right? And if you don't know why I'm saying that, you're gonna have to catch the first video. But like basically, since it's a Taurus full moon, I'm a Pisces, I'm a dreamer. Tauruses are a manifester. It's in harmony with me. You're supposed to make a wish on the full moons. So I basically said, hey, uh, you know, astrology doesn't work if I'm not a millionaire by the end of 2025. So that's my goal, or that's the plan. That's gonna happen. That's like without a doubt. So yeah, it is what it is. Just how it's gonna be, right? So what are your goals? What are your wishes for this full moon? You need to make one, all right? Because it can happen if you believe it. It's a super full moon. It can happen if you believe it. Okay, that is the power of the water sign, and the power of the Taurus is the ability to create the steps to get there. Right. Um, okay. Let me stop. Let's see. Today was the 14th. All right. So I had a video about this. Maybe I should put it back up. Um, we know Ken Griffin has a dark pool, um, like business, whatever. That's is named Apogee, right? Um, and when I discovered that years ago, I was like, yeah, these motherfuckers know about this shit. And it's not like you have to know about it for it to affect you. As above, so below. Give me 1 second. I need to change the battery on my camera. I'm about to cook. I'm about to cook. Okay, I'm back. Oh, wait. Maybe I'm not. Hold up. Okay. Hopefully that will stay on. I'm not sure if that battery is any good. Um, okay, so today was a super full moon, which is significant because it's a perigee full moon. So if you look there, it says November 14th, and then we look at the full moon, new moons. It says November 15th, right? So what that means is the moon is closest. If you look outside, the moon is super close. In fact, is you're gonna think that it's like right next to you, and that's because it's a super full moon. The moon is closest to the Earth during a perigee, right? So it could be a perigee without it being a full moon or new moon. But the fact that it is a full moon or new moon, it's a big deal, right? So this is one of the reasons why I was like, yo, 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 yo. We just had an eclipse. Now we're having a perigee full moon. You got to pay attention to that. Period. I know I did, right? But think about how much for me, like it's this full moon has really affected me. Like suddenly I was like, let me get back on YouTube and do my thing, because I've been doing it by myself, but you know I was ready to go back out in the world and do it, right? We talked about how Scorpio kind of this full moon kind of exposed the Scorpio, and that's another thing. There's so many Scorpio people that are in big positions. Adam Aaron has a lot of Scorpio energy. Kim Griffin has a lot of Scorpio energy. A lot of bankers have a lot of Scorpio energy. It was kind of crazy how much Scorpio energy is kind of like out there with you know P Diddy is a Scorpio. um, Tesla up, crypto up, GameStop and AMC flat. Next week's going to be explosive. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree. Paul by December. Paul by DEC. Yeah, I think next week's going to be a banger. The biggest reason why I'm saying it, and we got to remember, so the full moon goes in, or the moon goes in, right? And then it's and turns into the apogee, right? So what do you think can happen when the moon starts going back, right? As above, so below, right? So there's gonna be there's gonna be some type of like significant shift somewhere, right? I get almost guarantee it is happening in your life in other ways as well, right? I say that right when it's 11:11. So I it's you got to respect what's going on here, right? There's definitely decisions. Mike said decision. Yeah, there's a lot of decisions, and these people of power are being affected by this full moon too. Okay, so we want to understand that. And this full moon was very, very extremely significant, especially right before Pluto goes to 0 degrees Aquarius for the final time. So yeah, don't get me started. Oh yeah, so I have a whole video about that, about the perigee and the apogee. It's actually one of the videos that I did that I really took a moment to think about or research what's going on with the. Let's check some of the market real quick. I'm a little curious. What's going on? What's going on? Doge with the pullback. Kind of pullback are we looking at? Nothing really. All right, that's the full moon that I wrote, or maybe that's the one that I had. Okay, so yeah, I mean this is a very dang. Did this fall down there? I'm looking at hour candles. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what are we gonna do with Bitcoin? Bitcoin is gonna have to take off like tonight, or it's gonna be interesting few weeks. I think it's gonna take off though. Maybe it takes off in the morning, but I think it's gonna take off. I do, I do. Um, okay, when's the fight gonna turn on? All right, let me know if you have any questions. I'm just hanging out. Remember, I'm extremely tired. I just wanted to come out here and show you guys some love after you guys, you know, been really good to me this week and showing me love. And I wasn't gonna leave you guys hanging after we went through that full moon. I'm back. Okay, I guess we can't use audio. Oops. Or maybe it's because I'm thinking it's the audio because nothing happened when I wasn't playing audio. Which kind of sucks. Maybe I'm gonna try to play audio when the fight starts with Jake Paul, because I was definitely trying to hear it. Obviously, man, that cut though. Woo, jeez. Before maybe it's because I was. Let me not go full screen again. Oh, subtitles maybe. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the audio back on when. Oh, they blocked me again. Well, Okay, so yeah, they're not really having it, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to get off soon. I'm really tired anyway. But I see that Moonchild is a Cancer. So she, or the Moonchild is Sagittarius rising with a Cancer sun. So Mike Tyson's a Cancer. So this is that's pretty cool. But again, so with the Cancer energy and the Sagittarius rising in your sixth house, I'm gonna say that this has a lot to do with like your family, kind of how you are taking care of them, how they're taking care of you, the routines you have with them. If there's any healing and nourishing that needs to be done, this is a great time for that. Because the sixth house is a healing house. Cancer is a very nourishing sign and a sign of family. And Tauruses want everything to be in perfect harmony and things to be pretty, right? So I would say make sure everything's in order with the family. Take care of your family. Whatever, if there, whatever routines that need to be made with family to kind of help you. Maybe other people in your family need to make certain adjustments. Um, I could definitely see you maybe. This could be, I don't know how old you are, but you could be dealing with children stuff. You could be dealing with parent stuff. Um, and you could be dealing with work stuff. This is actually very work related as well, because the sixth house is the routine house, so it also deals with work stuff. And then whatever emotional things that need to be healed from, especially bad habits, can definitely be done at this point because you need to nourish whatever routines, whatever you need for your life going forward. Um, so yeah, man, I'm actually very excited to go to sleep by like 12:30 tonight. Hopefully the fight gets done by then because I've been going to sleep every day at like 2, which is not healthy. So anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. 2025 is going to be a year to remember. I hope you guys are ready. Okay. Um, I'm Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. You're watching the Market Moon Lord, where we